Oh my God. What a fucking day. What is up, boys and girls and everything else? What is going on, man? This is just my 2 cents. This is going to be my last UFC stream of the year. And it wouldn't be a 2-cent stream if it started on time, right? The stream is supposed to start just about 2 hours ago. And I mean, shit, might as well be live at 5. Fuck it, close enough. But I'm here. Better late than never, right? I guess. Been my mantra for a while, but I'm here. And this is, like I said, this is going to be my last UFC stream of the year. This is going to be the conclusion, the grand finale, if you will, to my end of the year awards for 2023 for the UFC. So if you're here yesterday, I appreciate it. Make sure y'all check that out if you haven't seen it. Yesterday, I went over what I considered the best fights and my fighters of the year, and I broke it down by weight division or weight class. So I thought it was a pretty good stream. I appreciate everyone that came through, and y'all had some great shout outs and honorable mentions and stuff like that. So yeah, thanks again. And today will be the conclusion, the epic conclusion. So without further ado, I'm kind of just going to get right into it. So I put a tweet out, and on the tweet, I pretty much listed like what I was going to cover. So there were a lot of submissions, but I really just kept it to main card submissions, like big moment subs. So I got a top 10 of those. There's a bunch more submissions that happen in the UFC. And if anyone watches this back and you can think of better ones, or, if we, I get to the knockouts and you can think of a better knockout that I missed, please, shout it out. Let me know what you thought some of the best stuff was this year. But yeah, I got 10 subs, Solmish, that I thought were pretty good. And the knockouts I did a little bit differently this year. So I still broke it into like TKOs and like Shadow Realm KO, completely unconscious, right? But I didn't really like limit it necessarily to like main card or, prelims. Now, like, yeah, towards the top of the list, like they're mostly like main cards and big moments. But yeah, so that's what I did. I spent a fucking lot of time on it yesterday. Probably more time than it's going to be fucking worth. I don't know if the juice is going to be worth the squeeze, but since I did spend all that time, I'm going to at least get it out here on the record that these are my favorite. Basically, these are my favorite finishes of 2023 in the UFC. That's what this stream will be about. Yeah, see, we have a visitor in the chat. My boy, my dude, what is up? I'm driving, but I'm here, homie. I appreciate that, homie. I appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. Shout out to Aaron the dog. The phoenix born from the ashes was an Aaron the puppy, and he's grown up and he's grown up and he's grown up now. And he's coming back in 2024. So get fucking ready, man. So yeah, dude. These are my I spent like hours doing this yesterday and ranking them and all that shit. But this is what I have for you. This is what I got. Gonna start with submissions. So I got 10 submissions, and yeah, they're pretty much all just main card subs. But they're pretty good, dude. Pretty good. So these are my top 10 submissions for 2023. 10 through 6 I have grouped in one, so I'll just hit them up, or I'll put it up here real quick, and I'll go through these individually. And truth be told, I go back and watch. I'm gonna watch these because fuck it, right? So coming in at number 10 is Benoit Saint-Denis. Oh my God, for this, baby. He's tech undefeated guy. Strangle for this. Oh my God. Yeah. So coming in at number 10 is Benoit Saint-Denis choking. God, I can't. This is bad. I can't remember if it's Ishmael or Gabriel now. I think it's Gabriel. Or no. That was Dalby. It was Ishmael. Benoit, and I'm gonna watch this right now. Benoit Saint-Denis had a hell of a year in 2023. Definitely an honorable mention for fighter of the year. Lightweight fighter of the year for me was Gaethje, but still, he had a hell of a year. And dude, he makes the list. He makes yesterday's list and today's. So Benoit versus Ishmael. I thought it was Ishmael. Gabriel is who fought Nicholas Dalby. I get them confused sometimes. But yeah, so that was number 10. I can't really find a video right now. But number 9 was Joe Pyfer arm triangling Abdul Razak Al Hassan. That was a pretty fucking good submission. And yeah, a pretty big moment. Like, let me pull up the I'm trying to remember if Razak had been, I think that was the first time he'd ever been submitted. Pretty sure. And dude, he went out. There was no tap. He went to fucking sleep. Pretty crazy one, man. Nasty arm triangle. Like, he didn't even get all the way over. He was just he just laid on top of him. And the fucking shoulder pressure just totally put him out. So yeah, that was pretty gnarly. And yeah, that makes number 9. Number 8, I kind of had a little trouble slotting this one, but it's Jailton, however you pronounce his first name, Almeida, choking Biggie Boy Rosenstrike, and I'm pretty sure that's the first time Rosenstrike's been submitted as well. And that's kind of what I used to rank these. Like, it's a little bit different with the knockouts, but even with the submissions, like, who did you submit? How many times has that person been submitted? Was it a big moment fight? Like, did you rise to the occasion? Did you have to come back from the dead? Like, those are kind of things that I used to rank and slot them. But yes, that is the first time that Biggie Boy Rosenstrike has been submitted. Now, he hasn't had a ton of MMA fights. Like, I had almost 20, but still, man, Jailton Almeida choking Biggie Boy. And, that's one of the wins that kind of helped him establish where he is right now. So yeah, and that was back in May. That was May 13th. Got the rear naked choke on Biggie Boy. First dude to do it. So yeah, I had to make that the top 10. Um this one you can maybe have a little further back because he has been sub before and he doesn't have the greatest fight IQ, but number 7 for me is Sean Brady. Kimura-ing Kelvin Gastelum. It was a nasty Kimura, dude, and he pretty much just had his way with Kelvin. He hurt him on the feet. He just fucking whooped up on him, and it's just a nasty Kimura, man. Like a Kimura is like a fucking bully move, dude. It's like a strong man. Like I'm stronger than you. I have the dominant position, and just give me your fucking arm. And Kelvin's not a little dude. Like he's a big, thick boy. So that was impressive to me, man. And I had to eat a bunch of crow there. I thought Kelvin was gonna smoke him, but dude, Brady to get whooped by Bilal like that, and then to have that kind of performance against Kelvin, and just the submission was so nasty, dude. It was a really nasty Kimura, and yeah, gotta give it to Brady. Even if you don't have him where I have him, I think you got to put him on the top 10 somewhere. In the top 10 somewhere, I mean. Coming in at number 6 is Brendan All In Allen. Getting the better of Paul Craig, getting the submission. And hey, Brendan Allen was my honorable mention for middleweight fighter of the year. He had a hell of a 2023. Hell of a 2023. Hell of a talent. And yeah, it was not the first time that Paul Craig has been submitted, but it is only the second time. And, normally Craig gets knocked out. But Allen gets the choke. It capped off 3 in a row for him in 2023. So that's probably the biggest win of his career. And yeah, he did it to a dude that's known for his grappling and a guy that's normally known for getting knocked out. And he got the better of him on the ground. And I've been saying it for a little while that Allen's a legit black belt. And if he was smarter, he would just keep doing that and like keep using his striking to go to the grappling instead of just like, I'm a big fucking tough guy, because that always gets him chin checked. But and it might still, but dude, that was a great submission against Craig. Like I said, only second time Craig's been submitted, so I had to give that a little shine and put that on the list. So that is 10 through 6. Again, Benoit versus Bonfim was number 10. Pyfer Alasan is 9. Almeida Biggie Boy is 8. Brady Gastelum is 7. Allen Craig is number 6. Now, these are the top 5 submissions for me in the year of 2023 for the UFC. Number 5 is, I talked about this chick yesterday, man. She is the future. I think she is going to be champion. If not this year, then maybe early 2025. But I think she probably gets the belt this year, especially depending on what happens with the current champion. But coming in at number 5 is Aaron Cold-Blooded Blanchfield. Just being super fucking ruthless to my homie Jessica. And it was a nasty submission too, man. Like Jessica was trying to get up, I think, and she just sunk it in. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, but dude, it was a nasty choke. In fact, I'm gonna go back and watch that right now. But yeah, again, Andrade, she's been submitted before, but normally she's another fighter that normally when she loses, she's getting knocked out. She gets decision losses sometimes, but I mean, and it was competitive on the feet. Like Jessica was starting to bust Aaron up, but Aaron, her striking is improving, and she did have success against Andrade on the feet. So Blanchfield versus Andrade. Yeah. I'm gonna watch this real quick. Cold-Blooded Blanchfield, like I said, I do think she will be champion next year. Probably, into next year. Get a big fight, win it, get her title shot, and new. So yeah, here she is, gets the body lock trip. Jessica defends well, tries a hip toss. Blanchfield pushes her up against the fence. Oh wait, this is the whole fight. Let me get to the right to the soul mish. Okay, here we go. This is 3:52:51 of the second round. So Blanchfield again gets the body lock. Outside leg trip. Sits Jessica down into side control. Jessica tries to get up. Yeah, that's nasty, dude. Yep, that's what I thought. Right as Jessica went to one knee, she sunk in the choke. You know, they always say like position over submission, but like she's so nasty with it and was so confident. She set a trap. That was her setting a trap. So yeah, that's a nasty submission. That's my number 5 for subs of the year. Cold-blooded Blanchfield, and I think she will end up being champion. Now, this next one, you might say, "Oh man, really?" But I was impressed by this performance, man. This number 4. We're going to the heavyweight division, and let me pull it up here. Let me get the video up. But this is another like this fighter normally loses by knockout. Sometimes by decision, but yeah. Number 4, I'm talking about the polar bear Sergey Spivak versus Derek Lewis. I was impressed by Spivak in this performance, man. Like I'm trying to remember if I bet him or not. I was gonna do my fucking my best and worst bets of the year, but I did not have time to compile that list, boys. I'm sorry. So yeah, I ended up being a big fibber with that. Just didn't get to it, but yeah. Okay, so we got Spivak gets the hip toss on Lewis. Got him in a scarf hold. Moves to side control. Okay, wait. Okay, again, I'm watching the whole fucking fight. Hold on, let me get to the finish. Okay, so Spivak just ragdolling Lewis. He's a strong motherfucker, man. If it's grappling, and this is why a lot of people picked Spivak against Gon. I mean, I still think that's a horrible pick in a bet, but this is why they picked him because of what him just like tossing Lewis around. That's what he's doing, man. He's just fucking hanging on him. He's got the body lock, mat return. Like, dude, he's just fucking him up. If you're just joining me, I'm watching Sergey Spivak, big brother Derek Lewis, fucking polar bear mauling. And yeah, he just basically just rolls Lewis over right into a fucking arm triangle. That's nasty, dude. And it did not take long, man. Sergey's a big guy. And Lewis, yeah. Normally, I think that's only the second time Lewis has been choked. I think DC got him and now Sergey. So yeah, Lewis normally gets chinned. So I was impressed by Sergey and had to give him a top 5, dude. Had to do it. Got a couple people in here. What's up, boys? What up, Zach? You didn't miss much, Bubba. I top 10 submissions. Benoit Bonfim, Pfeiffer Alhassan, Alhameda Rosenstrike, Brady Gastelum, Alan Craig. That's your 10 through 6. Cold-blooded Blanchfield, and right now we are on Sergey and Lewis, the Moldovan fucking vampire. So you're just in time for the top 3, though. I hope y'all are doing well, man. Cheers. Got some what is this shit? Sherbet, fucking something sherbet cream crossed with cherry pie. Sherbet whatever times cherry pie. Cheers. So, number three. Coming in at number three. This is kind of, if y'all were here yesterday, it's going to kind of be like deja vu. In fact, I used the same avatar that I used yesterday for this barrage. Number three, submission for the year for me. This dude made history with the sub. The first fighter to ever sub the dude in question. And yeah, I thought it was incredibly fucking impressive. Nobody ever subbed Wonder Boy before, dude. He's been out decision. He's been knocked out, but no one ever got that neck except Shavkat. So number three for me, third best submission of the year, Shavkat Rachmanov gets the rear naked choke on Wonder Boy Thompson. First man to ever do it, and he did it impressively. Two and one are kind of like no-brainers. They're going to be like Captain Obvious. And, you know, maybe even with the knockouts too, but they still like, they're what they are for a reason, because I just think they're the most impressive. So that's number three. Number two is, a lot of people were disappointed with this. I thought it was pretty awesome and super impressive, but a lot of people were like poo-pooing this submission. I thought it was pretty fucking sick and kind of fucking pimp. Number two, again, the guy that got this submission is a very polarizing figure, so I know that has something to do with it, but I thought this was a pretty fucking no-brainer like pick, and I'm trying to remember if I parlayed him or not. I don't think I may have. I just can't remember. In any case, I did pick him. Ended up being a pretty easy pick. And I thought something like this would happen, but I didn't think it was going to happen in like 1 minute. Number two is John Jones versus Cyril Gahn. Jones subbing Cyril in what, like 30 something seconds? Very, very short amount of time. Minute and a half. I can't remember exactly, but it was very quick. Just takedown, sat on him, just arm and guillotine. Just see ya. Everyone was like, not everyone, but like a lot of people were shitting on, dude. I thought it was pretty fucking sick. In his return for the strap, he just mows through my dude. Oh my God, Bon Gamin. What's going on, baby? What's that, baby? Oh my God. Breaking my heart for this every times. But hey, that was for the belt. And John was just like, all right, where's he at? Okay. Whoosh, guillotine, over. I thought it was sick. Dude, I cannot push back on that at all. It was fucking pimp. It was a boss move, dude. Like it's nothing, just like right off the. He didn't even come right off the couch, but it seemed like that, right? Because he hadn't seen him in so long. It's just like, okay, yeah. He's just like fucking, you know, getting the fucking sleep out of his eyes, and well, Cyril tapped quick too, boy. He tapped that leg quick. Yeah, and there was a lot of back and forth about what was going to happen, striker versus grappler. Jim was just like, nah. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. That's my number two. Number one, even if this isn't your number one, I think it has to be top three, just because of the moment. And let me make sure. I got to make sure that this is. I'm pretty goddamn sure this happened this year. If I'm gonna be so fucking embarrassed if this was like last year, but I'm pretty sure it was this year. Yes, okay, it is. Dude, this one takes it for me. just because of the moment, who it was done to, and not just like how big of a moment it was, but like the actual submission itself, I thought was the actual nastiest. And you'll see what I'm talking about. Whether you have it number one or not, I think it no less than top three, man. Even if it's your number three, like it's just so crazy. It's Alexa Grasso taking the strap from Valentina. Dude, she literally choked the fucking color out of her neck. Look at that shit. It is like two different colors. It was insane, man. So yeah, this takes it for me. But yeah, like this or the Jones one because of how big the moments were, and like, but just this one just because of how like tight the fucking grip was, how tight her arm was around Valentina's neck, and Valentina had been so dominant for so long. To do it like that is like holy fuck. She was down too, man. That was like a come from behind. She was kind of getting fucking like it wasn't totally one sided, but she was kind of getting whooped on, dude. Like Valentina was starting to have her way, and then nope, she fucked up. Did that fuck through that fucking spinning kick. So yeah, that takes it for me. Alexa Grasso becoming the champion by literally choking the fucking color out of Valentina Shevchenko. Yeah, that was gnar. Yeah, I had to double check. It was early this year. It was back in March. My dude, what up, Owen? He said, "Your Irish Irish brother, checking in, buddy. Hey, dude, great to see you. Cheers, my dude. Happy holidays if I don't see you till then. Great to see you in the chat, man. You're just in time, dude. I'm going over my best finishes of the year, dude. My top submission for the year was Alexa getting Valentina, and then I got Jones, and then Shavkat making history. But that's my submissions, boys. So very shortly, we're gonna start getting into the good stuff, dude. The fucking knockouts. KO, KO, KO. And how I did it was kind of like last year. There weren't as many WMMA knockouts, so I got a top 5 for the Chickadees, the top 5 UFC WMMA knockouts, and then I've got TKOs and just Shadow Realm. So, yeah. I cobbled together a list. I spent a long fucking time on it, and I'm sure even like everyone's different. Everyone's gonna have these knockouts ranked differently, or especially like the top 5. Everyone's gonna have their own rankings or whatever. But like, I think I got some good ones. I think I don't have every single one. So if there's a knockout that you feel should like really be recognized as one of the top knockouts of the year and I miss it, please let me know. But I think I did a pretty good job of coming through the year and like picking out the gems, man. Did a little gold sifting, boys, and these are the treasures that I found. So these are the fruits of my tools. I'm about to unleash my favorite knockouts of the year. I got 25 TKOs, 20 times where fighters entered the Shadow Realm, and then I got 5 chick knockouts, TKOs, whatever. So that's what it is. Who? I beg your pardon? That was not no fucking 2 years ago. Anyways. Grasso and Valentina, that was not 2 years ago. Alexa Grasso. No, dude, that was like May of this year. I mean, March. It was March 4th, 2023. Zach trying to F word with me. That's all right. That's all right. But yeah, I thought, do you have me? You almost had me for a second. I thought I was going nuts. So, let's see what we got here. Aaron says Derek Lewis meme KO over the year. We'll see if Lewis made the list. What's up though, Lobby? So yeah, Lobby, you're just in time, man. That was my Valentina. I mean, Alexa choking Valentina was my number one. But I did have cold-blooded Blanchfield at number 5, getting the better of homie Jessica. It was heartbreaking, but it was fucking pimp too. That submission was fucking sick. Jessica went to get up and she was like, no, you don't. Get choked instead. Totally set a trap for her. Now, let's talk about the best WMMA KOs of the year. How about that? I got a top 5, boys. I went through and found a nice top 5. There were not a lot of chick knockouts this year, but I think these are the best. I think these are the best ones. Coming in at number 5. This, I believe, let me double check. I believe this was this woman's debut. Put her name in real quick. I believe it was her UFC. No. It's not. Forgive me. This was this chick's second fight, but it was a comeback for her. And I thought it was, hey, considering who she lost to and the hype that was on her, I thought it was a pretty good comeback, man. It's Jacqueline Amarim, ground and pounding Montserrat Ruiz. She beat the shit out of the Monster Rat. GMP stoppage. Like, not the craziest knockout I've ever seen her, but, solid, like TKO, GMP. Decent for a chick fight. So that makes number 5. Like I said, there wasn't a whole lot to pick from, but this is probably like the lamest one of them all. The other ones were really fucking sick, actually. So while there weren't a lot of, female knockouts, the ones that we had were pretty memorable and definitely stood out. Like, I didn't have a tough time ranking the rest of these. Number 4 is the goofball, Amanda Ribas. She fucked Luana Pinheiro up. That fucking, like, Yushiro Uramawashi, that fucking spinning back kick was sick. She fucked her up, man. Got a nice stoppage, and it was actually a comeback. So this segues perfectly into my next one. My number 3 is actually the fight that happened before this. So Amanda destroys Pinheiro, and I thought it was impressive because before that, she got fucking wrecked by Macy Barber. And that's my number 3, dude. Coming in number 3, Macy Barber beating the living Christ out of Amanda Ribas. And spoiler alert, that was one of my best bets of the year. So Macy Barber getting the better of Amanda Ribas in devastating fashion. That was a sick knockout, man. Like, and a great, like, probably one of the coldest, like, WMMA moments of the year, other than like the Valentina's neck being a different color. Like, Macy, like, giving out that battle cry. Her face is all fucking bloody, just after she fucking stops Ribas. That was pretty sick. So that was my number 3. Natalia Silva, nice. Yeah, that was a good one too. So, and yeah, I shout them out, man. If I miss a good one, let me know. If y'all have one way higher, let it be known, man. This is all about appreciation for the UFC fighters, dude. I spent the whole fucking year talking shit about them. I can at least big up their efforts here at the end. So yeah, that Macy fucking up Amanda Hibas is number 3. Number 2 was pretty heartbreaking for your boy, personally. Heartbreaking and one of my most embarrassing moments of the year, honestly. I know ATP knows what I'm talking about. I'm sure, Zach probably does too in lobby. I really ran my mouth about this one. And these are the kind of ones where I really bump my chops and I end up paying for it. Like, with this, these predictions and starting to get into the gambling, it's kind of been like live by the sword, die by the sword, especially with predictions, man. I am such a loudmouth about some of these, and it's awesome when when it goes your way, but when it doesn't, it's usually pretty funny for everybody else. And this is one of the more embarrassing moments for me, and I'm sure if you were on the other side, it was just a joy. But number 2 is, dude, this is probably her biggest win. It's Yan Xiaonan. My homie. I hate to do it, but homie Jessica appears on both lists in the top 5 on the wrong fucking side. No, Jessica, I'm sorry. Fuck. But you know what? Number 1 is the fucking redemption, man. This was my favorite. Call me biased. I don't give a fuck. This was my favorite knockout of the year. Homie Jessica. That would not be the final note for me. Or Jessica. She comes back from getting knocked out by Yan Xiaonan. Everybody fucking doubts her in this fight. Everyone and their mother and their father and their greasy fucking granny was all over Mackenzie Dern's horse face and disappearing ass. All over it. She got some nice titties though. But yeah, this was one of the sweetest moments of the year. It was my favorite knockout of the year. She brutalizes Mackenzie Dern, drops her like 3 times in the final one. I can't remember exactly who was ref. It was like, nah. I think it might have been no nonsense. I think it might have been booze and cigarettes. But in any case, it was enough. It was either him or maybe Herzog. I can't remember. But yeah, that was my favorite one of the year. The homie smashing the hype job. Everyone counted her out. Not everyone, but man, y'all know who you are. If y'all are on Jessica and backed her, that's what's up, dude. That was really sick. I thought it was pretty fucking cool knockout, if I do say so myself. So that does it, boys. Those are my top 5 WMMA knockouts of the year for 2023. For the record, what was y'all's favorite? Dude, yeah, it was fucking rough, dude. Mackenzie backers got it bad in that one, man. She got fucked up. But dude, Jan had done the same, kind of like dude, just like Hebus. Hebus and Jessica had similar 2023s where they got fucked up in the beginning of it and were like, nah, dude, we are not going out like that. And came back and just whooped up on their next opponent, dude. Like, Pinejo and fucking Mackenzie Dern definitely felt Amanda and the homies' wrath, dude. And it was pretty sick, man. Pretty good. All right. Let me repack this, and then we are going to get into the good shit. The really fucking good shit. The fucking crazy nar, like basically the craziest moments of fucking 2023. And I do not. There we go. Woof. All right, gents. I'll take a big old rip. Stroke this fucking bubbler real quick. And we're going to get right into this shit. This was the fun part, dude. Yeah, ranking them was a pain. But that's just how it goes with rankings. It's for a reason. And I stand firm on most of these. Maybe towards the back end of some of them, you could sub a couple knockouts here and there. But dude, the top 5 on both of these lists I'm about to unfold is pretty like, yeah, rank them how you like. But dude, especially for the unconscious KOs, I think my top 5 are pretty much set in stone. And I definitely stand by them. So, cheers, boys. Again, this is sherbet cream crossed with. No, I didn't mix it. This is the strain. It's sherbet cream and sherbet cream crossed with cherry pie. I know, dude. You fucking duck the smoke. Old bust ass. Old fucking fake titty ass. Old hoe ass, fake titty ass. All right, so dude, I cannot stand Jessica Rose Clark. What a fucking 7, dude. Oh my, don't even get me started. Busted 7 looking ass. So let's, dude, you know what Jessica Rose Clark is? Oh my god, you know what she is? She is the fucking Two-Face. She is the Two-Face from Seinfeld. Depending on like the lighting and the hairstyle, it's like, Gwen? Yeah. Really? Yeah. Our table's ready. So here it is, boys. Let's start with the TKOs. Now, I separated these because these are some awesome knockouts, but these are ref stoppages. These are where the dude had been fucked up. He was on the precipice of the Shadow Realm, perhaps going in and out of the Shadow Realm. Not quite there. Didn't quite make the full trip, but were brutal stoppages nonetheless. Making 25 was kind of tough because there were quite a few knockouts, quite a few stoppages. I think UFC London, all the fucking main car was knockouts. So it was a little tough, especially like the back 10. Like I said, top 5 was pretty easy. There were enough knockouts and big moments and stuff. So the top 5 will surprise no one. But man, I thought these were all pretty fucking good. So I kind of like the last list. The first 3 banners are groups of 5, and then we'll have the top 10. So here we go. This is 25 through 21 of my top 25 ref stoppage TKOs of the year 2023 UFC. Here we go. 25, Fluffy Hernandez versus Edmen Shabazian. This was another kind of one of the more embarrassing moments for me, and just a hoot for everyone else. Because I really thought Edmen was going to win, dude. I really thought I was being slick with that fucking Edmen bet. And in fairness, he did hurt him in the first round. Like I don't know. I'm not going to say it was a good bet because ultimately, like, what every person that was backing Fluffy said was going to happen. It was exactly what fucking happened. So I'm not going to say, oh, dude, I thought the value was on Edmund. It was a good bet. Nah, dude. That was a trap. It was definitely a trap line, and I fucking fell for it. So Edmund, definitely one of my worst bets of the year. I was going to have that bonus segment where I went through all of them, but dude, I just spent way too much time on this, and I just was fried at the end of the night and didn't get to it. So apologies for that. Maybe I will do one. Maybe I'll do like a bonus. I'll do like a bonus stream before Aaron and I talk movies tomorrow. We'll see. Because I do want to be a man of my word, but it's not going to happen on this stream, so I apologize. I know people were just waiting with bated breath, but yeah, I can tell you that Edmund was, spoiler alert, Edmund was for sure one of my worst bets of the year. Number 20, but dude, we'll I almost skipped right over the fucking knockout. So yeah, Fluffy basically just melted him, dude. The ground and pound was pretty nasty at the end, though. Those last few elbows, like Edmund had his hand up trying to block him, but Fluffy was really placing them well, and they were landing very heavy. And I think Tanyani was the ref, and he just had no choice. No, was it? It was definitely a ball, dude. It was either Tanyani or fucking Mark Smith. I can't remember, but I'm sorry. But it was one of those dudes. I remember a bald man stepping in and and waving it off. But yeah, it was nasty stoppage. Number 24 is a similar style of knockout, but it was a little bit more brutal and definitely more bloody. It's Steve Garcia finishing Melky Costa. This one happened pretty recently, but it had to make the list. It was such a fucking nasty TKO, like ground and pound TKO. Melky dominates the first round dustily, as Jack would say, like kind of like a dusty Biatasiach, but he pretty much just like grapple fucks Garcia, and then he gets tired, and then Garcia does what he does. But dude, I think he tried to choke him, and Melky went to his back, and then once Garcia was on top of him, it was nasty. He was fucking laid open, so just fucking leaking everywhere. And Garcia's heavy-handed, dude, and he just postured up, just nasty fucking elbows. One of the bloodiest of all the knockouts that happened. This is one of the bloodier ones, man, for sure. He really got fucking thumped. He fucking talk about dropping the hammer. Lord have mercy. Oh yeah. Yeah. Take a bow. Y'all showed me. Dude, it was filthy. It just had to be there. Now, 23 is another one. Now this is Gabriel Bonfim, but it's Nicholas Dalby, man. This was one of the better wins for Dalby recently, I would say, because some of the other ones are a little controversial. I just that's God, especially that fucking D-Rod one. But anyways, dude, Dalby again, kind of like Garcia, just does his thing when he weathers a storm and just kind of counts on his cardio to. I mean, he's a different style fighter than Garcia, but I'm just saying, like, he broke Bonfim, gassed him the fuck out, man. Those knees were nasty. I'm shocked he didn't get knocked out. You know, what am I trying to say? I'm surprised he didn't get outright KO'd just from the knees. But he ended up like succumbing to all those fucking strikes against the fence, all the knees and the clinch strikes, and eventually just hit the deck. And this ground and pound was fucking nasty too, man. And just against a little bit higher level of opponent, and considering that it was kind of a comeback, like, man, dude, one of the better wins of Dalby's career for sure. And it had to make the list. This one, it was tough, man, because the dude it happened to, yeah, he's not the best fighter. And you're going to see some fighters on this list, like some victims of these knockouts that are like not very good fighters. But I'll just say for the record that how I'd rank these and how I, put this list together was it was a combination of the level of opponent and the knockout itself. The level of destruction, how cool the knockout looks, and the level of opponent. So all those are the mitigating factors or whatever, or the deciding factors. So yeah, like number 22 is Christos Giagos. Face planting Rick Glenn. Is Rick Glenn like an awesome fighter? No. Was this knockout awesome? Hell fucking yes. Dude, Christos Giagos fucking face plants the Y off Rick Glenn. He knocked him from Ricky Glenn to Rick Glenn. He knocked the Y off his name. Dude, there was a couple face plant knockouts this year, and this was one of the ones that stood out. Like a great win for Giagos, who's an up and down fighter, kind of a jabroni himself. But dude, I think this is the first time Rick Glenn had ever been knocked out. He's a tough motherfucker, if nothing else. And Giagos just fucking one punched him. Just pop. I think it was a left hook, and he just face first. Bam. Pretty sweet. That I think I was on Glenn. I think I ate crow there. But yeah, pretty cool for Giagos. And number 21, dude, this was a late edition. I almost forgot about this, and I was like, holy shit, wait, no, this has got to go on there, dude. Elvis Brenner neck punching fucking Guram Kutataladze. Fucking Georgian last names. Guram Kutataladze punches him in the fucking neck. He crumples into a heap, and then he just beats him until the ref stops it. Total comeback victory, too. Really sweet knockout. Like, yeah, Guram's now like 1-2 in the UFC, but when Brenner fought him, he was 1-1. Had a pretty good record. Was a pretty good fighter. Like had that good. Whether you think he won or not, he had that really close fight with Gamrot, and then he had the loss to Ismagulov, but so yeah, he was 1-1 technically, but still, like, Guram is a very, very highly respected Georgian grappler with some good striking, and Brenner had to come back in this one, but come back did he ever. This was a sweet comeback victory and a dope knockout. He literally just punched him. You don't see that often. He's literally punched the motherfucker in the neck. And he was just like, oh! And he just fucking like sat down. Pretty wild. I don't think he meant to, but it was just like, it was gnarly. Dalby has everyone convinced for a long time he has cardio issues and he just has a breathing technique. Yeah, he's just a weird fucker. Nicholas Dalby is a fucking weird dude. He's a good fighter. He's an underrated fighter, but he is a weird motherfucker. Definitely a character. Fucking Nicholas Dalby, man. He just won't go away. He just he has these like shitty performances and these sketchy ones, but then just when you like doubt him, he's just like, oh, I have a tricky little sleeve or tricky little trick or two up my sleeve. Like, he's just a wily fucking Danish fuck. He's a weird dude. Fucking Nicholas Dalby. The Danish warrior. So Lewis versus DeLima. We'll see if it makes the list. I don't know. Maybe I'll take it off the list just because you said, oh my God, did I just spoil it? God damn it, Lobby. Yeah, spoiler alert. Lewis versus DeLima is on the list. I know y'all were all like convinced it wasn't going to be, but yeah, hate to burst your bubble. It's on the list. So Speaking of lists, let's press forward. 5 people in here. Good to see y'all. Smash the like button. Now, let's crack into the top 20. Again, the rankings is not so much important as the fact that they're on the list, period. But these are getting into some of the sweeter knockouts of the year. Again, this is a combination of the knockout itself, how devastating it is, how chinny the other dude is. That's not the biggest factor. That's probably the least factor. But when it's like, oh, how do I put this? When I had trouble deciding which one I should rank over the other, that was kind of the factors that I went to. How cool it looks, how devastating it was, and the level of opponent. Like if it's a dude that's never been knocked out before, I'll value that a little bit higher than if you're fucking saying knocking out a guy like Shannon Ross or something. So that's just an example. But we're getting the top 20 here, boys. Number 20. This is another group, so this will be 20 through 16 if you're watching. Coming in at number 20 is Dan 50K Ige. Walk-off KOing, no look left hook. See you later, Damon Jackson. Took him a little while to do it. I thought he was going to do it early, but I was all over Ige here. And I was truly stunned at the amount of people that thought Damon Jackson was going to win this fight. The disrespect towards Dan Ige in this fight was really insane, man. People like the mental gymnastics were out of this fucking world. But yeah, this was a very no-brainer pick and bet, but dude, he fucked him up, man. That was again, like Jackson is pretty chinny, but he had kind of had a little bit of a surge going on, and Danny put a fucking stop to that real quick. Well, not super quick, not as quick as I thought he would, but he got it done. Another walk-off KO for Dan Ige. Dude, there are a couple fighters on this list that are known for a walk-off KO. That's all they do. So he's one of them. Number 19. Some people wouldn't even have this on their list, but he's on mine. If you don't like it, make your own fucking list. Number 19 for me is the Doctor, baby. Uros Medic knocking out the tough lug Matthew Semi the Jedi Simmelsberger, I think he had been knocked out once, but it had been a while. And he hadn't been knocked out in the UFC. Had been pretty fucking tough. But this was one of my better underdog bets of the year. Everyone was all over Semi's nuts. I knew Medic was the better striker. I can't remember if I bet him. He was the underdog, and I'm trying to remember if I bet him by knockout or just the money. I know it was at least the money line, but I'm trying to remember if I bet knockout too. In any case, yeah, I was all over Medic here, and this was a sweet knockout, man. This was one of the only spinning knockouts of the year. It was a spinning back fist. I think he had already dropped him, or he like made him do the stanky, or so he had already hurt him, and then he hit him with the spinning back fist, and then it was over shortly after that. But I remember it being one of the cooler knockouts of the year, and it was against a guy that had been got a pretty decent record in the UFC and had been a tough guy to get out of there, and Medic was able to do it. So that made my list. And again, maybe I'm being a little biased because he helped me get back on track this year, but whatever. I still thought it was dope. So it makes my number 19. Number 18 is Raw Dog Royval. Now, some people would have this a lot higher, but it has to be on the list somewhere. Brandon Royval knocking out Mateusz Nicolau. This is another one that happened. When did this happen? Like summer? In the summer. With my crew, not riding through the hood with my homies getting smoked out. I think it was the summer. I'm gonna find out right now. Brandon Royval. Spring. Mid-April. It was sweet though, man. It was like a step-in knee into a right hook. It was a hook. I can't remember if it was a left hook or right hook. But it was a step-in knee into a hook. It dropped Nicolau, and then he finished it up. It was pretty cool looking. There was actually a couple knockouts similar to that where it was like using either a kick or a knee and punching off of it. But it looked pretty cool. It was the perfect like Royval style knockout. He's so like gangly and spindly, and like those are the kind of attacks that just work for him, where he can just like all of a sudden out of nowhere, boom, he steps in with a knee and then steps back out, and then you think you're clear, boom, here comes the hook. He's really rangy, and it was a very rangy knockout. People like a bit more range these days. That was a good. It was a very sweet, rangy kind of knockout. But yeah, that comes in at number 18. Number 17. I originally had this one higher. I went back and watched it. It still makes the list, but it's more the opponent than like how it actually looks itself. Like it's still very devastating. It's definitely a devastating knockout, but maybe not like as cool looking as some of the other ones. So that's why I had to bump it back a little bit. But still, considering the level of competition, and yeah, this dude had to make the list. All the knockouts he's had recently. Coming in number 17 is Sergey Pavlovich, taking care of Curtis Blades. The punches that set up the knockout were actually cooler looking than like the finish itself. The finish itself was basically like he was just like wrestling, riding him, and punching him with one hand. But I was gonna say the punch that wobbled him and made Curtis's like legs cross basically was pretty nasty. So yeah, it was some devastation for sure. So that makes my number 17. Excuse me, need some water. Necesito agua. Oh, woo! Cottonmouth, boys. I wonder where that's from. Now, number 16. Y'all probably knew this was going to be on the list somewhere. Again, another guy that had he been knocked down before? Definitely not in the UFC. He'd been finished before, but I don't think. No, he had. He had. Yeah, it was. So, excuse me. Sorry, I felt that coming. Yeah, coming in number 16 is my dude Michel Demolidor Pereira. My dude Michel making very fucking quick work of Andre Petroski. So Petroski had been knocked out once before, but he was undefeated in the UFC. Crazy too, because it was the fight right before he got in the UFC. He got knocked out by Aaron Jeffrey in LFA and then signed by the UFC. So he won his first 4 fights, got re-signed, wins the split against Mearshart, which I thought was kind of a robbery. And then he just gets fucking smoked by Michelle, dude. It was kind of just a standard like 1-2. Maybe a little bit more of an overhand, but dude, just sat him right down. I think it's funny how much people we were kind of talking about this yesterday, and have been, well, actually like the last couple streams. And it's something that I fall victim to myself, and that's holding a guy to their worst loss. Dude, some people, kind of like we were joking about Alonzo Minifield, and people can't let the William Knight loss go. People will not let that fucking Tristan Connolly loss go. Excuse me, with Michelle. And they keep holding them to it and like, oh, dude, he lost to Tristan Connolly. Yeah, we just knocked out your fucking boy, Andre Petrosky. So, yeah, man, keep doing it. Keep remembering that Connolly fight, please, and help these Pereira lines. Because people love to fade that dude. Oh, he's a goofball. He fucking does the back. Everyone remembers him for his worst moments instead of realizing, oh, this dude is like still pretty young. He's like 29, 30. Still pretty young. He's gotten better, clearly. He's gotten a little bit less reckless. And he's kind of nasty on the feet, dude. He's definitely got some fucking power. He's a good counter striker. He has a background in capoeira and karate, though. So he's got good, sneaky, kind of sniper-like timing. And he's just way better than people give him credit for. And this is a sick knockout, man. People were all over fucking Andre Petrosky, dude. But yeah. Yeah, I love to see that, man. It was a sick knockout, though. And again, a dude that had not lost in the UFC. He was on a fucking, 5-fight win streak. So, yeah. Great win for Demolidor. Interested to see what happens next. Now, we're moving to the top 15, boys. This is the last, group. But the top 10 each get their own banner. But this is 15 through 11. Again, some of these you might have higher or lower, but this is where I got them. Coming in number 15, Jack mentioned it yesterday. He might be a shell of his former self, but dude, he won't fight like it. Max Holloway versus Chan Sung Jung is actually kind of an honorable mention for one of the better fights of the year. He stunned Max a couple times. He didn't almost finish him or anything, but he definitely cracked Holloway very solidly and got Max's attention. I would say he stunned him a couple times, and Max has an ungodly fucking chin, one of the best chins in fucking human history, but he really made Max fight him tooth and nail and made Holloway really dig down. And when he did, he came up with a fucking nasty knockout, dude. This was the finish to this fight was pretty fucking crazy. Basically, this is one of the most badass, fighter going out on his sword. Chan's you know what? Fuck it. I'm at the end, dude. I know I don't have, anything left, basically, in my career. I'm going out on my shield. Let's fucking go. And he made Max knock him out, and Max fucking cracked him, dude. He one-punched him. Chan had been down before in the fight, and Goddard was just okay, one more, and that's it. So I think it was a good stoppage, but dude, Chan came in with just fucking fighting fire with fire, wouldn't have it any other way with the zombie, right? God, I love Chan Sung Jung. But he goes out on a shield, dude. Holloway just a little bit quicker to the punch, dude. Little bit sharper timing, and sat him down, man. Retired the zombie. So it had to be somewhere on the list. All respect to Chan Sung Jung, one of my favorite fighters. And yeah, if you didn't catch it, I did a little I can't remember exactly what stream it was, but I did a little tribute to him. And yeah, he's got some really fucking sick wins. And this was a good fight from him, dude. A little bit of a little throwback to the golden days of the zombie. And if you're gonna go out, dude, that's how you want to fucking go out, man. Pretty cool. So yeah, that had to make my list. That was number 15. Number 14 is Benoit. Oh my God, Saint Denis. Benoit Saint Denis. Head kicking Matt Frivola in New York, in the Garden, I think. And you hear fucking mouse pissing on cotton, dude. Talk about a hush falling over the crowd. Lord have mercy. Nasty, dude. Frivola actually, throwback Frivola. Getting back to his old reckless ways and just, yeah. Yeah, it was crazy too, man, because Frivola had been on this wild tear and feeding me a ton of crow on the way too. But he was a guy that had been knocked out bad a couple times, and I kind of had this idea. It's like, okay, this dude's totally fucking done. So every fights after that, I would be like, nah, he's gonna get knocked out this time. And it wouldn't happen. Like, fuck. It goes on this huge win streak. I'm like fading him the whole time. Like, you know what, dude? I'm finally on the steamroller train. And what fucking happens, dude? Fucking Benoit head kicks him into fucking oblivion. It's like, Jesus Christ, Frivola, you would go out like that in New York. It's unreal. It was a sick knockout, though, man. Pretty fucking cool. Had to have it in the top 15. 13 is Rob Font in one of the only wins he's had recently. Now it's a good win though. And it was a pretty sick fight. And another one where Yanez kind of just forced him to knock him out. Like Yanez was definitely fighting reckless, and he cracked Font a couple times, but he just stayed in the pocket way too long. And with Font's reach, he just could not miss Yanez's head. Like Yanez's defense he doesn't move his fucking head. Like he does a lot of parrying and blocking, but like an accurate striker with those little gloves just splits the fucking guard. So he got his face busted up. The punches right down the middle were just lighting him up, man. And like that's just throwing these wild hooks. The straight punches are gonna get there quicker, and like whew, nasty knockout, man. That was one of my worst bets of the year for sure. Was Yanez. I was all over Adrian Yanez. I think he busted my parlays because I'm pretty sure. Was he the underdog? I thought Yanez was the favorite. Can't remember, but yeah, nasty knockout by Rob Font had to be somewhere on this list. So yeah, that's number 13. Number 12 is this was my bantamweight fighter of the year, dude. It's Song Yadong knocking out Ricky Simone. He dropped Ricky Simone like 3 or 4 times in this fight, and each one was filth nasty. And the last one, Ricky just like bent fucking backwards like a chair. It was pretty fucking pimp, and followed up with some nasty ground and pound. And yeah, this was kind of what started this. Like, I think this was after the Sandhagen fight. Don't want to totally talk out of my ass. Let me see. I get it right here. Song Yadong, because I'm pretty sure he fought Sandhagen. Yeah, this was the first. Yeah, this was the first fight after Sandhagen. Thought it was. I just want to make sure. Yeah. So that's dude. After like, and that's the reason a lot of people were kind of fading him there. Was they're like, oh well, you know, he had this big moment against Sandhagen, couldn't get it done. Is he going to be able to regroup? It's like he's fighting a way less capable striker that doesn't have near the fucking physical attributes that fucking Corey Sandhagen does. And I can't believe people were like, I mean, not that I can't believe it. Simone's a good grappler, but dude, the striking, dude, get the fuck out of here. They're not even in the same realm. And Song showed that, and he brutalized that motherfucker. He sat him down, yeah, like I said, like 3 times, and that last one was fucking filthy. Like I said, just bend him backwards like a lawn chair. Just here you go. Nah, we're driving home from the beach. See ya. So yeah, that was pretty cool. That's my number 12. Number 11 is Charles Dubras Olivier knocking out Benny. Some people might have this higher. I think there are knockouts that looked a little bit cooler. The head kick was cool, and the ground and pound was nasty. The ground and pound was almost cooler looking than the head kick. But this one was more like, this is one of my better bets of the year. Spoiler alert. I know Jack was on Charles. Anybody else that was, I'm trying to remember if Aaron was or not. In any case, I uh I was all over Charles Oliveira here. And yeah, like you can say Benny's like chinny or whatever. But still, dude, it's still a big moment. And Darius was on a tear, man. Like this was his this was his one shining moment. And Charles won't gonna have none of it. Like it was pretty fucking nasty. Like turning back at the gate there. Like he's like, nah, this is this level up here, this tier up here, Benny, this ain't for you, dude. And we've seen that since too. It's just like, you know, Benny's a good fighter and he can beat a lot of fighters. He can beat rank fighters, but he has a ceiling. And he does not have a very good chin. And it's just gonna get worse because he got knocked out by Charles and then he got knocked out again. So in any case, still a sick knockout though. Like Charles fucking head kicks him in short order, and yeah, dope knockout. Didn't quite make the top 10, but still one of the bigger like spots, I guess, on the list. Like it was the co-main, I think, or the Coco of a big pay-per-view. I can't remember exactly which one, but yeah, it was a sick knockout, man. Just outside the top 10. Speaking of which, here we go. In my opinion, these are the top 10 best ref stoppage knockouts of 2023. These are all main card, if not championship fights. The top 3 are pretty fucking no-brainers, but there's some good ones on this, man. I think this top 10 is pretty much beyond reproach for the most part. Again, if it's not like elite competition, the knockout looks sick as fuck. Or it was someone that hadn't been knocked out before, or it was like a huge moment. So let's fucking go. This is the top 10 of my TKO stoppages of the year. Catch this bowl out. All right. Number 10. Number 10 happened very, very recently. I mean, very recently. Like last fucking card recently. Big win for this dude. A guy that people have counted out. And I've counted out myself, but it was this is kind of becoming his MO when he does win. Coming in number 10, talking about fucking no love, baby. Cody Garbrandt walk-off KOing Brian. I imitated fucking Energy Johnson's haircut for some reason, Kelleher. But man, this was sick. Like, just one punched him, dude. He hit him so fucking hard. He was just like, nah, that's it. I don't want this anymore. He was just like laying face down, covered up, just like hoping and praying the ref would stop it. Garbrandt just hand to the sky. Pretty sick, man. It had to make the top 10. It was on a big pay-per-view, and hey, man, I won't say that like I didn't think Kelleher was live at all. I didn't bet Cody for that reason. So I'm not going to say that, oh, dude, I knew this was going to happen. I had Cody by decision. But this was it was sweet to see him just one punch boom like that. Yeah, Kelleher is kind of a jobber, but you know, he's a high-end jobber, and he's definitely a capable fighter. Like he's, you know, I wouldn't necessarily call him a great fighter, but he's a good, solid fighter, and that's a good, solid win for Cody. You know, just keep him on track, keep people remembering like why he was champion, and dude, he's still got that fucking hand speed, dude. It was so fast you almost didn't see it. It was like a 3-punch combo, and the right hand landed in between, and Kelleher was already collapsing before the left hook fucking landed. And yeah, man, it was nasty. One punch walk off KO. Speaking of one punch walk off KOs or TKOs, excuse me. This is another one that happened very recently. Not quite that card, but I believe it was the one before that. Zach, you'll like this one. Your boy Khalil. It was filthy, dude. Made Smith do the fucking Bambi dance. Like hovering over him, like hand to the sky, about to fucking drop Thor's hammer down on his fucking head. One of the colder moments of the year for sure. And there was no way he wasn't going to be on the list. So yeah, dude, Khalil Roundtree pretty much walk off TKOing Anthony Smith. That comes in at number 9. Number 8. This dude just appeared on the list on the wrong side, but he's definitely on the right side here. Repack this bowl. Number 8. They say this guy couldn't be knocked out. Everyone said sooner or later, his chin's going to go. I said, nah, never will. Never say never. Coming in at number 8, the dude that got knocked out in this fight had never been knocked out before. Had what some considered to be an iron chin, one of the best chins in the UFC, and it got cracked here. And it was a wild fight for as long as it lasted, but there was no way it was not going to be on the list. Number 8, we were just talking about him, but he got the better of it here. Matt the Steamroller Favola, baby. Steamrolls right over Drew Dober. First dude to ever knock out Drew Dober. Pretty fucking impressive stuff, man. You can slot it wherever you want it, but you got to have that somewhere in the top 10, man. It's of all the knockouts that happened that were not like completely unconscious shadow realms, like that's definitely one of the more memorable ones, dude. It was historic. It's kind of like, Wonderboy Thompson never been choked, Drew Dober never been knocked out, and Favola is the first one to crack his chin, dude. He's a bit of a fucking glass cannon, and dude, Dober was anything but, man. Dober, he had an iron chin for a while, and it finally got cracked. So everyone that was saying, here it's sooner or later it's coming. Y'all are right. It's fucking crazy, dude. Huge win, bro. Huge win for Matt Favola, and absolutely belongs in the top 10. Now, number 7. Again, maybe I'll have this as y'all's favorite. Maybe it's not on the list at all. But again, if you don't like it, just make your own fucking list. But I think it belongs somewhere in the top 10, regardless of where it actually gets ranked. Somewhere in the top 10. Everyone knows this one. This was one of the more memorable ones, not just for the knockout itself, but for the... Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say it's probably the most ridiculous and awesome post-fight celebration of the year. It's been mentioned in the chat already, so I won't drag it out any further. Coming in at number 7, it is the motherfucking Black Beast, Derek Lewis, with his textbook flying knee. Like, Derek Lewis is so unbelievably graceful with his knees and kicks. It is unfucking real. The dude is so nimble for just a huge guy. And this was so beautiful. Like, such a huge underdog. For what? So he's such a huge underdog. And you figure, yeah, Lewis is live and dangerous in the first round always. But what does he do? Immediately, like old Twinkle Toes, fucking hits this like jumping flying knee, lands right on the button, and then he just finishes him off in like 10 fucking seconds. Drops trowel, does the suck it. Everyone loses their shit. Like, definitely one of the standout moments of the year. Like, if that's your number one knockout, I will not argue with you. It is definitely the most hilarious and like probably one of the like most crowd pleasing knockouts. Definitely one of my favorite moments of the year. Like one of my favorite bets of the year. It was I was just elated when that happened. I was just laughing and like crying tears of laughter and joy. It was just so fucking ridiculous, dude. Whew. Good times. That was a good time. Yeah. Again, if you have a number one, that's fine with me. Derek Lewis is a national treasure. So coming in number 6. This is one where if you go and look at like MMA Junkie or fucking MMA Fighting or any of the fucking major MMA like media outlets, this is probably going to be top 3 knockouts of the year, if not number 1. Maybe, I don't know. It'll be somewhere in the top 3. But it doesn't quite crack the top 5. Again, it's not that it's not a big moment. It's not that it's not a cool knockout. It fits a lot of the categories or criteria or whatever. But I just thought some of the other ones, well, I'll just go ahead and tell you. Number 6 for me is Islam Makhachev in his rematch with Volk, head kicking Volk and then finishing him. And it's not that it wasn't a sick knockout. It's not that it wasn't impressive. I guess it's not higher for me because one, I guess Volk's the smaller dude. I was kind of expecting Islam to finish him. So maybe because of that, I wasn't as... It was fucking cool. I'm not going to say I wasn't like surprised. I was like, oh shit, I didn't expect him to head kick him like that early. But like the fact that he knocked him out, I'm not like blown away by. Like I kind of figured he was going to whoop him worse in the second fight than the first one. Volk took this on short notice. I don't care what anybody says. He did look like the little guy in the first fight. I just think he fought to his absolute like peak level. I think that's the best Volk performance I've ever seen, probably, against Islam. But it's just not something you can replicate. Islam's too good. His striking has gotten too good. And yeah, man, it's definitely top 10. I mean, look, it's almost top 5, but I stand by my top 5, dude. And yeah, it's not impressive, but like, you know, little bit of bully, you know, big old strong ass, getting better with his striking ass Islam. I mean, he dropped the motherfucker twice in the first one. People just want to keep ignoring that. Want to keep ignoring the fact that Volk got knocked out before. Ignore the fact that he been getting dropped by Holloway, dropped by fucking Chad Mendes, like dropped by all these people, dude. So whatever, man. So I guess that's why it's not higher. And I guess it's, you know, you can say, oh, well, you're just a fucking salty fucking, you know what I am. I am, goddammit. I am a fucking salty boy. Salty boy for life. Salt never dies. You already fucking, y'all, anyone familiar with this channel already fucking knows this. It's no big secret. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why it's not higher. Again, make your own list and make it, because Volk is the greatest fighter of all time. To head kick Alexander the Great is just the crowning achievement of a lifetime. Whatever. It was cool though, man. It's top 10 for sure. I'm not hating on it, but that's why it's not number 1 for me. Max won the second fight. Till I die, dude. Anyways. Yeah, it was sick though. First dude to knock out Volk in the UFC. But again, it's Volk stepping up and getting knocked out because it was a featherweight knockout or a welterweight knockout before. Anyways, man, number 5. This is top 5, dude. I really stand by this top 5. It's pretty much beyond reproach to me. Rank them how you like, but goats stand by every single one of them, regardless. So number 5, Jack, if you see this back, know that this is not like, I'm sure you would have this number 1, but I think that you can at least like give me a little credit for putting it in top 5. Come in number 5, Jack's favorite fighter in his unquestionably his most impressive performance, his biggest moment. He comes through. Dricus du Plessis stopping Robert Whittaker was definitely an eye-opening moment for me, and I just got to stop doubting this dude. He's got a really good chance at dethroning Strickland, but this was crazy, man. Yeah, Whittaker's been stopped a couple times, but I just didn't expect, like, think about it like this, dude. Think about that fight with, like, Tavares, or even some of the fights that he has won by knockout. Like, he hasn't looked that impressive until he gets the finish, but in this one he did, man. He looked good. He fucked Whittaker up. It was his toughest test, and he fucking passed it, man, in a really fucking brutal way. Dricus is a very, very heavy-handed fighter. I think that's, Captain Obvious statement of the century, but dude, pretty fucking cool. Gotta put him at least top 5. And yeah, I'll stand by that. Some people that'll be number 1. Jack will probably have that number 1, but yeah, couldn't have him any less than the top 5. Now, number 4. Much like number 5, number 4 was another eye-opening moment as far as this fighter. I knew that he was a good fighter. I knew that he was capable of winning this fight, but I was on the other side. This dude fed me crow here, but I actually didn't really mind eating it because he's a fucking awesome fighter, and he just made a huge statement with this one. Coming in at number 4, man, it is your newly crowned heavyweight interim champion, Tom Aspinall, going toe-to-toe with the fucking boogeyman. And, dude, just fighting fire with fire and coming out on top with the crisper boxing and the quick hands. It was nasty, man. It was one of the best knockouts of the year in a huge spot against the most dangerous motherfucker in that division and one of the most dangerous fucking dudes on the planet. Imagine some of these guys. I mean, I'll just say one of the most dangerous dudes on the planet. Imagine some of these smaller fighters having to fight Sergey Pavlovich. Can you imagine? I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, even Aspinall got rocked. Could you imagine some like a fucking welterweight or something, or a lightweight trying to fight Sergey Pavlovich? I mean, he's one of the scariest dudes on the planet. And Aspinall just, I mean, he said it too. I mean, he admitted being like, fuck yeah, I'm scared. He's like, are you kidding me? Have you seen that motherfucker? Like, he didn't say it like that, but like, I mean, he knew what was in front of him, but he bit down on his mouthpiece, and Tommy got some hands, man. Showing up, flashing the pro boxing skills, and boxing up Sergey Pavlovich and getting a huge fucking knockout, becoming the interim champion. And yeah, man, another guy that could potentially be wearing the strap by the end of the next year. Again, maybe you have him higher, maybe you have him a little lower, but I'm sorry, man. This is a top 5 performance. Like, it's a top 5 knockout, dude. Pavlovich was on such a fucking tear. Like, who was on a bigger tear than Pavlovich? Who was on a bigger tear that people were like, holy shit, this dude is the next guy. Big, scary, KO artist Russian, like, scary motherfucker. And Aspinall just cool as a cucumber, dude. Pop, pop. Just sat him down, man. Just crisp counterpunching, crisp boxing. So, yeah, number 4 for me. Number 3, Some people will have this number one. I don't blame anybody from here on out. Any of these could easily be number one as far as like TKOs. Some will have them just of any knockout, just of the year. This is number three for me. Kind of like the last one. It's because of the moment, because of what the dude had been doing in the UFC. And like, yeah, it's a title fight. It was a vacant title fight. And dude, I was really hyped for this one. I was really like anxious and nervous for it because like it was one of the tougher fights to kind of like call. I remember thinking about like who was going to win it and just like, oh, like I'm glad I went with my first instinct, but dude, it was really gnarly thinking about this fight, like the build up to it, and I think it delivered, man. It was pretty cool to watch, and this knockout was fucking sick, and it's like I said, championship fight coming at number three. Your newly crowned light heavyweight champion, Poatan Pereira, knocking out Jiri, the Amazon warrior, slays the fucking Czech samurai. It was a sick fight, dope knockout. That fucking Pereira left hook, baby. It is just one of the most devastating weapons in the sport. Been talked about ad nauseum. I've done it myself, but it is just something else, dude. Where the moniker truly fits. Motherfucker's got a rock in his hand. And he throws it with such fucking torque and like purpose, dude. It is scary, man. Scary power in that left hook. And kind of like, it was kind of what I like, dude. He's not weight drained and he's just fucking whoop. Scary dude, man. Where he's not like compromised and he's still like carved out of fucking wood, dude. Like he's still like shredded, but he's not like compromised now. It's a fucking scary light heavyweight, dude. It was a nasty knockout, nasty left hook. It's fucking dope. That gets the bronze for me. All right, coming in number two, getting the silver medal, just missing gold. Lobby, I don't know what it was, but you were fucking on it, dude. You called it. Coming in number two, Sugar Sean. He only fought once this year, but he only needed one punch to become the new champ. The fucking right hand heard around the world. Probably of all the TKOs, this was probably like the one single strike that had the most significance. Because I mean, yeah, there was a bunch of follow-up ground strikes, but like of all the one, except for number one, of course, but this was of all the punches, yeah, this was nasty, man. I think what I did here was I picked Aljo and then I like put a hedge on O'Malley, and I think O'Malley ended up saving my fucking night. I was just counting myself. I was like, God damn it, Aljo's gonna win. At least I'll get the Tapology pick right, and then O'Malley just fucking boom. It's fucking sick. Nasty pull counter right hand. Just textbook, dude. O'Malley's really fucking accurate. He throws that fucking right hand like a baseball dude, like just how you supposed to. Just clean, effortless, just fucking ball on a chain. Sick fucking knockout. Good call, Lobby. Yep. Didn't quite take the cake, but just about. So, and again, fucking dumbass me. Of course, I get ahead of myself. I take the time to make these avatars, and I don't even fucking put them up. But yeah, here was the this one I actually just used the one I made earlier this year. Here's the left hook from Pereira. right when it lands. Jiri just fucking crumbles, dude. So yeah, that's number 3. And number 2, I don't have the moment of impact, but I think this is a sick fucking still. O'Malley captures the bantamweight championship with a nasty fucking right hand and relentless GMP. He landed almost every single one of those follow-up punches, and people were saying that was an early stoppage. It's like, dude, it was a merciful stoppage. So yeah, that's number 2 for me. O'Malley's your champ, dude. We'll see what happens, but even if he never has a defense, can't take the belt from him. That can't take the fact that he had it. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Well, definitely one of the knockouts that stood out the most this year. But I mean, number 1 will not be any shocker. Really, to if y'all know anything about me and my like which fighters I fuck with in the UFC, this is no shocker at all. But number 1, the fucking head kick heard round the world, baby. The highlight gets his fucking revenge. Justin the Highlight Gaethje head kicks Dustin Poirier's skull into the fucking stratosphere. Gets his revenge. Becomes the bad motherfucker. And caps off the lightweight fighter that I think had the best year. People will say Islam, but he was gallivanting off fighting fucking, I don't know if it's gallivanting or gallivanting, whatever. It's one of those he was galla fucking off with a little guy, little featherweight. Gaethje was fighting fucking dangerous lightweights like Fiziev and his old nemesis, dude. So yeah, you can say whatever, 2 cents, you're a fucking Gaethje honk. Dude, I am. I'm a fucking stan, but this is why. Because he fucking does shit like this. I mean, this is some shit out of a movie, dude. You fucking make a movie about Gaethje and this fucking storyline here with Poirier. Because everyone loved to dog him about that first Poirier loss. Everyone loved to be like, like just sniveling little shits talking about his loss to Poirier and the loss to Alvarez. Like Alvarez is some fucking bum. Everyone loves to suck RDA's dick. Alvarez fucking smoked that motherfucker. So yeah, those aren't bad losses. Alvarez and fucking Dusty are really fucking good fighters. This was a good fight for as long as it lasted. Very competitive. Him and Dusty made good dance partners. Both fights were, as long as they lasted, they both ended in a finish. Each one of them got one, but neither one were one-way traffic. Like Dustin landed a couple hard punches in this fight, but Justin was throwing this head kick. He was setting it up the whole time. And he was attempting it the whole time. And this one, he caught him. The follow-up was fucking sick. I had some good avatars earlier this year with those, but yeah, this is of the Poirier didn't quite go out. He was close. He definitely stopped him with the follow-up. I don't think he quite went unconscious, but but he was close. So of the dudes that didn't get shadow realmed, this was the coolest knockout this year for me. For obvious reasons, but even objectively, it was pretty fucking dope. Objectively, you have to have this somewhere in your top 5. Even if you don't have it top 3, I get if it's like Islam and Jiri and like, you know, Derek Lewis or something, that's fine. But you got to have this somewhere in your top 5. Justin's revenge, head kicking Dusty. Come on now. Hey, Lobby. Hey, Lobby. Can you read the banner, sir? I know you can, but I don't think you did. Fear not, sir. Fear not. We are not done yet, my friend. What we are done with is the TKOs. The ref stoppages. Good buddy. I still have a list for you, my friend, and anyone else that listens to this. We still got the Shadow Realmings coming up. I got 20 Shadow Realmings for y'all. There were 20 times where dudes went the fuck to sleep. So don't you worry, buddy. I got some good shit for you still. But those were just the TKOs. Those were just the ref stoppages. Like I said, those were they flirted with the Shadow Realm. They saw it for a second, and then they were brought back. These next 20, they didn't make it. They had a visit, dude. They didn't just dabble. They had a good visit in the Shadow Realm. So I'm about to get into it. I actually have to hit the John real quick, but I will be right back, and we're going to get into the nitty gritty, the real shit, the fucking bullshit. Make a banner real quick. Okay, I'll delete this one. Intermission up next. Intermission. No. No, god damn it, Lobby. No. All right, hold on. Music. Okay, there we go. Okay. Up next. The best KOs of. It's the best knockouts of the year. All right. All right, dude, I'll be RB. All right, boys. Just about time for the grand finale. Sorry, I didn't want to chew on screen. Or on air, rather. Now, these next ones were divided the way they were, and I positioned these segments the way I did for a reason. Because to me, these next fights that I'm going to talk about, basically, these are like the 20 craziest moments of 2023 for me. Not entirely, but pretty much, dude. The crazy, insane, unconscious knockouts, those are like usually the craziest moments to me. Because no matter what level of fighter it doesn't have to be like the champion that gets knocked out cold. Of course, that's insane. And that adds to it as well. But I'm saying it doesn't necessarily have to be. Like, there's some knockouts on this list where the guy that's getting chinned isn't like a good fighter at all. They're like, some of them are like dudes that stepped in on short notice. They're just nobodies like making their debut. But that's why they're so cool. They're like the funnest part of watching the sport to me is seeing some insane fucking knockout. Now, of course, it is at the expense of another man's health. So I do like, I mean, of course, it's the best thing in the world to see, you never, God forbid, man. It's always a good thing to see them like wake back up and, be okay, and you never want them to have long lasting brain damage from it. Unfortunately, that's part of the sport, but nevertheless, they're putting their like bodies on the altar of entertainment, and that's what like. So salute to all the dudes that paid the price. These 20, I mean, like, no disrespect to them by them being on this list. It's just these are the biggest moments, dude. So I salute them for at least, like I said, putting their bodies on the altar of entertainment, man. And like these made for some incredibly entertaining moments. So I salute them for that. Now, let's get to it. Wait, no, I'm not ready yet. I'm almost ready. I gotta fucking repack this bowl. But these are the ones, dude. These are the 20. I cobbled together 20. Now, they all visited the Shadow Realm, some longer than others. That's another thing, but All these fighters, even if it was just for a second or two, they went out. They went unconscious. Some of them I had to watch. Like, did he really? Yeah, he did. Yeah, he went out. But most of them, it's just clear and obvious. But these are the top 20. The greatest knockouts of the year. All visits to the Shadow Realm. Like I said, some had longer visits than others, but they all went there. They were all on the same train. Now, top 20 KOs of the year. Here we go. Kind of like the last list. The first two banners are going to be groups of 5, and then the top 10 each has their own. Here we go. 20 through 16. I'm going to go through and talk about each of them briefly and revisit them in all their glory. Let's do it. Coming in at number 20. A KO list would not be complete without Shannon the Cannon Ross on it. Makes the first one. This was a brutal one-punch knockout, dude. Jesus was relishing in it because Shannon was fucking out. I'm not gonna pour salt on an open wound, but Lordy, Lord, was this a brutal knockout, dude. There was no debate about whether Shannon was unconscious or not. He was clearly hanging out in the Shadow Realm. Straight back, head hits the canvas, staring up at the sky, astral projecting. He was out, dude. Number 19 is Brian Battle versus, oh, sorry, I forgot to say earmuffs for Aaron. He who shall not be named versus Gabe Green. It was a nasty knockout. It happened very quickly. I remember betting Gabe Green, and it just broke my heart, dude. I like Gabe Green. He's a cool dude. He was a dome fighter briefly. But excuse me. Sorry, I felt a burp coming on. Again, excuse me. Yeah, pretty nasty knockout though. He wasn't there long, but he definitely went unconscious. Yeah, it was a crazy win for Battle. He was in Charlotte there, so the crowd went nuts, and definitely one of the bigger knockouts of the year. It happened very, not that I didn't expect a knockout in that fight, but I didn't expect it that quickly. So yeah, I had to give him a shout. So he comes in at number 19. I had a little trouble slotting this one, but there was no doubt it was going to be on the list. It's coming in at number 18 is Rinya Nakamura, knocking the living shit out of Toshiomi Kazama. Dude, Rinya was swinging for the fucking fences in this fight, dude. He was trying to knock Toshiomi's block off with every single punch, and eventually he just got to him. But yeah, Kazama was out, dude. He was knocked out pretty bad. Number 17. This one happened pretty recently, and I don't know, dude. Is your boy turning into the Jekko Whisperer? I don't know. I mean, it would kind of restore balance. My Ige whispering fell off. My Duncan whispering is still there. But is your boy turning into the Jekko Whisperer? My Jubilee whispering and my Ige whispering has definitely fallen off. I'm a fucking washed Jubilee Whisperer. and Ige Whisperer. But dude, my Duncan whispering and my Jekka whispering is just as strong as ever. So, when one door closes, another one opens, as they say. So, yeah, number 17, Jekka Alexander. Jekka Alexander knocked out themselves. So Jekka Saragi sends Lucas Alexander to the Shadow Realm. This was a really dope knockout. Not against a high level of opponent, but just a really cool low level up against the fence, just slumped against the fence, man. Looking off into the Shadow Realm distance. It was a fucking dope knockout. And Jekka was like, Jekka, easily one of my best bets of the year. Easily. I'll try and do my best to shout out some of my best and worst off the top of my head. Dude, you're about to get a taste of some of my worst. When we get to them, I'll let you know. Because some of the victims on this list, your boy definitely put money on. So I will definitely stand on that when we get there. But yeah, Jekka versus Lucas was definitely a fucking sick knockout. Jekka had gotten on top of him, and Lucas, I think, went for like a heel hook or some kind of submission, and Jekka was just like, nope, no, you don't. And as he got up, Jekka, he turned his back to run away and give himself some distance, and Jekka pounced on him, clipped him with a right hand, and then when he fell against the fence, dude, he fucking put him out bad. Definitely a trip to the Shadow Realm, and one of the best knockouts of the year. Another one, you may have the Jekka knockout higher than this, but dude, another one of my better bets of the year. Back to back. Jekka and now David Onama versus Gabriel Santos. Now, Santos wasn't out for long, but he did get knocked out, and he was actually unconscious on the way down. I made several avatars and good screenshots of the exact moment he's going down, and you can see that he's unconscious. So yeah, he had a quick little trip to the Shadow Realm, and that was just a sweet knockout, dude. It was like a shovel hook, and shovel hook which is like a hybrid hook and uppercut, and yeah, Santos like a corkscrew hook almost, and Santos was Dunsky Edmonsky. So dope fucking knockout. Now, that is 20 through 16. Let us now move into 15 through 11. Now, there are some sweet beauties in here, boys. It's a mix of, let's see the victims. All mid to low level competition here, but dope knockouts nonetheless. So again, thank you to these gentlemen for sacrificing their minds and bodies on the altar of our entertainment, because they were fucking sacrificed. These were all brutal, dude. All trips to the realm, no matter how long or short. But here we go. 15 through 11. What? I know this is crazy, but both Shannon Ross and Cody Brundage are on this list. On opposite sides of the list, but both of them are on the list nonetheless. That just shows you how crazy of a year 2023 has been in MMA and UFC, because we're talking about Shannon Ross and Cody Brundage. But nah, man, Brundage had a really dope knockout against Zachary Reese. It had come right after a knockout that was very similar, but he hurt Reese really, really badly. He slammed him. Reese went for an armbar. Brundage lifted him up, kind of pitched him to the side. So he wasn't spiking him, but he was basically whipping him. He basically he was Reese like a whip, just pow, just he crack imagine a whip and the end of it getting cracked on the end of the getting cracked on the octagon, but it's someone's head. That's what he basically did, like a fucking hammer, just like a hammer, and the octagon is the fucking anvil, just boom. And Reese was hurt very badly, and the follow-up shots sent him to the realm. So big shout out to Cody Brundage for making the list, and salute to Zach Reese because he was out. Pretty sick one. Now, number 14, people went on and on about whether it was real or not. Go back and watch it, man. There's just you can't really fake that kind of like loss of control. Like, Nico's not the most durable dude. I hate to say it, but Lawler is not exactly pillow fisted, and Nico is not the most durable dude. So, yeah, I mean, he just got him, dude. He got him with the fucking dirty boxing, diddy boxing. Got him with the diddy boxing, the diddy clinch boxing. He clipped him, dude. Uppercut in the clinch. Nico just fucking melted like a building that had been fucking detonated. He just crumbled. It's fucking sick. Lawler going out with a win. If you want to say it's fake, whatever, dude. I say you're full of duty. And it was a sick knockout. But that's number 14 for me. Number 13, maybe you might not have this as high or not have it on the list at all, but I think it deserves a spot somewhere just because of the way it looked. This was one of the cooler looking knockouts. And it wasn't the punches itself, it was how Haas fell. Talking about number 13 is Ikram Aliskerov versus Phil Haas. The punches that he hit him with didn't look like a whole lot, but it was just really accurate, and he caught Haas right on the, like, Ikram is a powerful dude, and he caught Haas with that cross right on the end of it. And that's where it's got the most, that's where you when you throw the punch, like, right, it's where you snap the punch, and he just snapped it right on his chin. And the way Haas fell was crazy. It was like he was just going to lay down uncontrollably, like just unconsciously. I think his like left leg just folded underneath him, and with his right leg and the rest of his body, he just like laid down unconscious. Just whoosh. It was one of like his body fell like very smoothly. It was crazy looking. So that was one of the more like interesting looking knockouts of the year. This next one, dude, god damn, man. Jim Miller, talk about turning back the clock. Now, yeah, Butler, he ain't shit, but still, dude, Jesus, he fucking punched him hard. What's his dude's name? Jesse Butler. God, what a sacrificial lamb. Jim Miller with that fucking old man strength, like, knocks the living fuck out of Butler. Another one up against the fence where he's just like in suspended animation. Just right in the realm, dude. Crazy, powerful knockout. Awesome win for Jim Miller. And yeah, it's my number 12. Now, this one number, I kind of struggled, and you can maybe flip this one and the Miller one, but I have Elvis Brenner against Kanan at number 11 because of the way that Kanan fell. Like, they were exchanging punches, and Kanan was like dipping his head to the right, and Brenner threw this like overhand left. And as he was like, the head was almost out of the way, but he clipped the very end of it. He clipped like the back corner of the top of his head and just fucking face planted. Go watch that knockout in slow motion. It looks insane. Because he almost misses the punch. Because they're like, he's like, Kanan has the right idea. He's like trying to slip out of the way, but he doesn't quite make it. And the overhand like clips him on the very like tip of his, like the top of his head. And he just fucking face plants. It's one of the crazier looking knockouts where he's like, he's out, but he just goes face first, dude. It was nasty. Doesn't quite make the top 10, but I'll be damned if it won't be on my list. So, speaking of top 10, we're there, boys. We are fucking there. These are the 10 best, and I mean knock out. These dudes are done. Done. And before I get to this, I'll just say Turner versus Bobby Green is not on this. I know that's a big win for Jalen Turner, and I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but I don't have it on the list because it's kind of like putting Jared Gordon versus Bobby Green on the list. It's like it really shouldn't have happened. Like it should have been a TKO, but like it was a super duper late stoppage, and because of that, Bobby was Shadow Realm. So that's kind of like I left that one off. So if it's spoiler alert, if anyone's waiting to see that one, that did not make my list. But it's not because it wasn't a sweet win for Jalen. It just like shouldn't have been that late of a stoppage, and it shouldn't have been a Shadow Realming. So if you want to have it on your list, that's fine. But I just don't have it on mine, and that's the reason why. So this is the top 10. This is the cream of the crop for me for 2023. These were the most devastating chin checkings of them all. And I think, regardless of where you have them ranked yourself, I think they all deserve a spot. Number 10. I believe this was this gentleman's debut. And boy, did he make the most of it. Number 10, Ishmael Bonfim versus T-Rex. Probably the greatest flying. Well, that and Lewis, up there with Lewis for flying knees. But McKinney, DeLima was like rocked and hurt. McKinney was sparked. He was unconscious, fell face first. It was insane looking. Had to make the top. Dude, no way it wasn't going to be on the top 10. Crazy knockout, dude. Insane. Instantaneous, just done. Like he was fucking him up. Like McKinney came out like he usually does, bat out of hell. Then he tires. Bonfim starts to come back, starts to box him up, and then McKinney gets tired. He gets put against the fence, and then bam. And the next one is similar. It is a knockout against the fence, and it is with a knee. And because it's a slightly higher, well, about the same level of competition, but I just yeah, yeah, about the same level, I guess. But I thought it looked a little crazier. Edson versus Billy Q, just insane. Like McKinney's been like smoked before. Like Billy hasn't been smoked before like that. He's been stopped before. He's been knocked out and he's been beaten, but like he has never just been crushed like that. And god damn, Edson just ended him in that fight. Billy, he wasn't there long. Like he took a trip and then he woke up. He actually like put his arm up on the ref. But yeah, he took a quick little trip there, dude. So yeah, maybe you put Bonfim a little ahead of that, but I think it's got to be in the top 10, dude. Definitely one of the when I think about all the knockouts of the year, that's one of the ones that stick out to me. The next fight, maybe not the level of competition, but this one, the dude was definitely out for a good second. Like this was a bad one. Head hit the back of the canvas, completely unconscious for a good little second. This was a crazy middleweight bout. I believe it's middleweight. Yeah, middleweight bout. Two of the bigger, like I'd say, like bulkier middleweights, but an insane knockout nonetheless. Talk about Bruno Ferreira and RoboCop, dude. Gregory Rodriguez. He was out before he hit the ground, dude. Like, Bruno clipped him with that left hook, and Rodriguez was just completely unconscious. Completely out. Totally slumped. It was an insane knockout. Rodriguez is chinny, but like, yeah, Jordan Williams knocked him out, but that it hadn't happened in a second, dude. He beat Cheaty. He beat who was it before that? Park. Didn't he beat Marquez? Like, he had gone on a little streak, and no one had been able to take him out, and Bruno does it with one fucking punch. Boom! Slumped him. It's pretty crazy. Out real quick. Now, this next one happened. That one was back in the summer, I think, or like the early fall. This next one was pretty recently. I want to say it's like in the last month or two. And this was bad. I kind of figured this was going to happen. But, dude, I mean, if it just is what it is. The guy's just a chinny fighter, and he keeps getting put in these spots again. I mean, it's just like, be careful what you wish for, dude. Be careful what you wish for, because this is a guy that is like crowed a lot about not getting opportunities, and then he gets them, and what happens? He gets fucking smoked. Talking about Arman Sarukian versus Beneil Dariush, like, the writing was on the wall from the jump. I didn't expect him to smoke him that early, but like, come on, man, that was just like a foregone conclusion. Dariush, again, a good fighter. He makes the list twice, unfortunately, like Andrade did too. But yeah, he got knocked out twice this year, and fucking, I said it earlier, like, he's a good fighter, but his ceiling is fixed. Because once he gets to the elite level, the strikers are just gonna find his chin. And that's what happened. Like, Arman, kind of like Royval, like, step in knee and then hit him with a follow-up. Cracked him bad, man. And knocked him out. Went out cold. So that's number 7 for me. Number 6, yeah, maybe you don't rank this one as high. Maybe it's not even on your list at all. But when I went back and watched it, dude, it had to make mine. It has to be in the top 10. This knockout was a little unique. There weren't that many knockouts by this strike. Kind of like the other list with Medic. This is an elbow knockout. This is the nastiest elbow knockout of the fucking year. Coming in at number 6, Manuel Torres. Not one punches, one elbows, Nicholas Mota. He hit him with a couple follow-ups, but those were just for fucking posterity's sake. Like, he was out, dude. Step-in elbow, super duper nasty. Again, maybe you don't have it at number 6, but you gotta fucking put it in the top 10, man. Like, it was so insane. There weren't too many knockouts that were more devastating than that. And yeah, maybe whatever you don't have in the top 10, maybe if you have a list where it's like top 20, top 25, it has to be somewhere on there. For me, for my money, yeah, that was a top one. That was a lot of crow that I had to eat there, but going back and watching it, dude, it was a fucking beautiful elbow, and Mota is just instantly unconscious, hits the fucking cage. Follow-ups aren't necessary, but dude, he's totally fucking gone. So yeah, maybe you don't have it as high, but I certainly did. It was total devastation. It was fucking sweet. That's number 6. Excuse me, got cotton mouth. Number 5. From here on out, there's no, maybe you have this. No. These are absolutely the most devastating knockouts of the year. Unquestionably. Not one of them is a I guess this next guy, you can call him a jobber, but you know who all these fighters are. But these dudes got it the worst, and the winners of these fights doled out the absolute worst punishment this year, the most devastation. So let's get to it. Top five, baby. The top five worst fucking brutal knockouts of the year. Number five, dude. Man, this guy, dude, when he gets it fucking bad. I mean, bad, dude. Number five. I hate to do it to him, but because he's had it done to him before, like pretty much just like this. But dude, this was a little bit of history repeating. Number five, CDF versus MJ, Carlos Diego Ferreira. Pretty much like carbon copy of what Josh Emmett did to him. Overhand right. Dude, he fell like pretty much the exact same way. He fell and landed pretty much the exact same way. It was insane. Just rigor mortis before he hit the deck. Total destruction. Had to be top five. Has to. It has to. We talking about the level of devastation? Nah. That was it. Some of these, like these top 10, there's no question about whether they're knockouts or not. Like these dudes are out. Out. Like a fucking light. Before they hit the deck. McKinney, Billy Q, RoboCop. McKinney, Billy Q, RoboCop, Benny, Moda, out. They're out. Michael Johnson, out like a light. It's just crazy that he fell and landed the exact same way. Now, number four. Excuse me. Number four. Another one. This was kind of similar to MJ because he fell backwards and went out, but it was like, I'm trying to remember if it was like one or two punches that put him out, but he was completely out. And I don't think this dude's ever been knocked out before. But in fact, excuse me. In fact, no, I know he hasn't. Coming in number four, another dude making history, the first guy to stop his opponent. Umar Nurmagomedov, shadow realming Houney Barcelos. Houney got it bad, dude. His head bounced off the back of the canvas, completely slumped. Umar slept him. It was wild. I picked Umar in that fight. I don't think I had him by finish, though. In fact, I'm pretty sure I didn't. It was insane, though, man. Like, Umar's going to be a dangerous prospect, dude. But, yeah, I had to put him on the list. Had to put him in the top five. I went back and watched it, and, man, Barcelos is out cold. Really bad. Didn't quite make the top three, but you got to have it somewhere in the top five, man. Like few knockouts were more devastating and just like clear cut. There's just again kind of like MJ. There's just no question whether he's unconscious or not. Now the top three. These are the absolute S tier, God tier, whatever, like the cream of the crop. The wheat is separated from the chaff here. Number three might not be the level of competition as the others, but because of the nature of the knockout, it has to be in the top three. There's never been another knockout quite like this in the UFC. There have been knockouts like this in MMA, but not quite like this in the UFC. This is another fight that happened very recently, and so it was not hard to find the avatar. Coming in number 3, dude. This was crazy. It was not one you see every day, but it was absolute destruction. Drakkar Klose, again, just picking up Joe Selecki like a fucking hammer and just drilling him into the canvas. That's the moment of impact right there, dude, and he is done. Some people won't have this as high, or maybe not on their list at all, but I don't give a fuck. This is one of the craziest knockouts I've seen in a while. Because like Brundage, when Brundage did it to Reese, he like hurt him. When he did Selecki to Selecki, Joe's out right there, dude. Like he instantly went unconscious. His face like tightened up and like toes curled. He was fucking out, man. Slammed him right on his fucking temple. Crucially devastating knockout. Makes number 3. That's my bronze. Number 2 will come as no shock to nobody. 2 and 1 will be no shock to anyone. But it's got to be on there, man. Slot it where you want to, but this is one of the craziest ones of the year. It was a big moment. It was a championship fight. It was another dude getting his revenge. Israel Adesanya sends Poatan to the Shadow Realm. I like Alex Pereira a lot as a fighter. I love that he knocked out Adesanya. I love that he got the belt off Jiri. But I can't deny Izzy, dude. As far as unconscious knockouts go, you got to put this in your top 3. If you have this as number 1, I can't argue with you one bit. It was one of the craziest knockouts of the year. Poatan is completely in the Shadow Realm. Izzy does the iconic fucking shooting the arrows, kind of like, mocking Poatan. And dude, it's a pretty legendary knockout. I think it'll go down as one of the classic ones, like when they do like UFC promos in the future and shit. Like it'll probably have staying power, dude. It was pretty crazy because of not just the knockout itself, it was the history that these two have. He finally gets one back on Poatan. The guy had beaten him 3 times before that. Beaten him twice in fucking kickboxing and then knocked him out in the UFC and took his belt. So if you were an Adesanya fan, this was like your vindication. This was like, Izzy gets his revenge. You feel, justified, vindicated, whatever. And I can't deny it, man. It was pretty fucking sick. I'm not a big Adesanya fan. I wouldn't call myself a Poatan stan, but I'm a fan of the dude. And even so, this was fucking dope. Sick moment. I can't deny it. Easily top 3, if not number 1. But it's not quite number 1. I have number 1 for a reason, and it's because it fits all the criteria that I set forth when I make these lists, especially for the knockouts. For the unconscious knockouts, has to be a pretty high level of competition, which it is. It has to be a walk-off, one-punch KO, just one-hitter quitter, and the aftermath, it just has to be complete destruction. This one fits the bill and absolutely takes the cake. Probably comes as no shocker, but it had to be on there. Has to be number 1. This was the craziest knockout I saw all year. It happened on the last card. Unquestionably, it was Josh. Mitchell had never been knocked out before. He was convulsing so badly, man. Like he was having a fucking seizure. Toes curled, hands in the fencing position. Like he was like all the telltale signs, just like shaking as they tried to pick him. Like, it was insane, dude. He just like crushed Bryce's brain. Oh man. Like, probably Josh Emmett's most devastating knockout. And he's got a few, but I think that one was the worst. Got to give it to him, man. It was the one. It happened at the end of the fucking year, like right at the like 11th hour, but nevertheless, it comes away with the fucking grand prize, man. That is my best knockout of the year for 2023 UFC. Josh Emmett, shadow realming Bryce Mitchell. And there you go. Those are my end of the year awards. That is my best fighters, the craziest fights, the best subs, the best knockouts, the best stoppages, the best shadow realmings. That's what I got, man. That's pretty much my year in UFC. I was gonna put all my like best and worst bets. One knockout that did not make the list, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it because I did bet this person foolishly. I bet Anthony Smith. That's one of my worst bets of the year for sure. But I bet fucking Lucas Bresky against Waldo. And that was a crazy knockout. It didn't quite make my list, but that was a crazy one too. It would have been a TKO because like he wasn't unconscious, but he like fell face forward going the other way. Pretty nasty. But yeah, that's one of my worst bets of the year for sure. And maybe I'm gonna talk movies with Aaron tomorrow, the Cosmic Countdown, but maybe I'll do a little bonus stream before that. We'll see. But man, anybody that stopped through, I hope y'all have a good holiday. This will be my last UFC MMA stream until 2024. So this will be the last one of the year. And I reckon that tomorrow, the Cosmic Countdown will be the last one of those until after the holidays. But in any case, man, I'm going to put the song on. I'm going to get the fuck out of here. But anyone that came through, anyone that will watch this, I appreciate it. Smash the like button if you would. And yeah, that's all I got. Be sure to leave a comment. If you watch this stream back, let me know who you got. Who's your favorite knockout of the year, your favorite submission of the year, all that stuff. Let me know who you got. Get out of here. All right. That does it. That's my favorite fights of the year. The best fighters in each division, the best submissions, the best TKOs, and the best trips to the Shadow Realm. That is my end of the year awards for 2023 for the UFC. And yeah, this will be my last UFC stream until the new year. So I really appreciate everyone that has kicked it with me this year and supported this channel. I truly do appreciate it. And I hope you all have a great holiday. And yeah, dude, if I don't see you between now and then, yeah, enjoy the holidays. Happy New Year. And yeah, if y'all want to talk movies, I'll be back tomorrow with Aaron. The Cosmic Countdown will continue. We're cracking into the top 50. And I might do a bonus like best and worst bet stream, but we'll see. But yeah, man, thanks again. Hope y'all have a good rest of the week, good holiday. Happy New Year. And yeah, come through tomorrow, talk some movies. Thanks again. Just my 2 cents. Smash the like button. Catch you on the next one. Peace.